Peace, 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 peace. I'm EVR, Ever Reese. EVR, Evolution via Revolution. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Ever Reese 361 on Instagram. I'm a cosmophysician. I practice a brand of astrology called cosmophysics. I'm more of a predictive, humanistic, and conceptual astrologer. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I was trained by Ra Akul, the cosmophysician. You can find him at Ra Akul, the cosmophysician on Facebook, Rashad Akul on Facebook, Ra Akul on Instagram, Cosmo361 on Instagram, and Ra Akul on Twitter. You also can check out Cosmo361.com, which is the website for cosmophysics, or the actual cosmophysics page on Facebook. Cosmophysics means as above, so below. And that's what we do. We bring what is above, below to the physical to manifest. That's what the cosmophysician does. Cosmophysics is the Jeet Kune Do of astrology. We practice a plethora and variety of astrological techniques that we feel are legitimate, and they work across the board no matter their genre. I also do Vedic astrology, mostly Jamani, and we mix those interpretations and connotations together as well. So just get you a little bit about myself. I did a post recently called Abundance, and it got a lot of, I got a lot of heat, and a lot of people wanted to really get deeper explanation. And I did do an explanation. Some people wanted the video. I don't really do videos. Leave that to the younger generation. That's their thing. I'm more of a blogger, and everything that I write, you can learn from. And I'm going to make a promise that I make to all my students and clients. After this video, you will be able to utilize what I'm saying for yourself and possibly expand your mind and start to be more focused on your abundance and prosperity. Okay. All right. I just want to pause a minute, and say it's been a hard week for people. It's August 6th. We had 2 mass shootings. Really 3, but 2 mass shootings this week's a lot of social, political stuff going on. It's just too much. So I hope this is a breath of fresh air for you. And also, we got a lot of Miss Cleos and people like that in our communities, and often we seek, our refuge and assistance with our spirituality and achieving our abundance and our focus. And, a lot of these programs that are offered, that are peddled on the internet, just fall short. I'm going to give you something that you can actually utilize after the video to help yourself expand your mind and start to move a little faster and more appropriately to your abundance and your prosperity. I'm going to talk about abundance, prosperity, and wealth. And when I mean wealth, I don't mean just money. I'm talking about the type of wealth you get from experience, from traveling, from educating yourself, and from carrying yourself as a higher standard, higher ethical standard, and spirituality. Cool. So I hope that helps. But I did a post called Abundance. I had the post up here. I'm sharing my screen. And like I said, I got a lot of heat in different places that I posted it. So I'm going to explain in a little bit more detail and then show you some things that hopefully can help you out. I'm going to read from it really quick, and then we'll get into it. Abundance. The 9th place represents abundance, prosperity, luck, expansions, and riches too. Okay. Thus, a fun experiment for you is to take your 9th house ruler or your cups and put it to the ascendant after your birth time, and read that chart as a blueprint for your personal abundance, prosperity. This is your lucky chart. Yeah, your luck chart. One can do this with their own Jupiter degree too, since in astrology, Jupiter is planet of luck and the greater benefic and greater fortune. Or they can do a chain of what's called in astrology a chain of dispositorship, where you follow the planet of luck, Jupiter, or your 9th house planet, which we'll talk about later or in a minute, and you can follow what sign it's in, what planet rules the sign that it's in, and what planet rules that sign, until the chain loops around back to that planet, whether it be Jupiter or your 9th house ruler. Okay. Now, in astrology, an astrology chart, it's split into a 12-piece pie. You know, each one of those lines are called cusp or houses. The first line on the left side of the chart is called the eastern horizon or the ascendant. And every 2 hours, another sign rises to the ascendant. Okay. So with the time that I was born was September 23rd, 1972. Pardon me. September 23rd, 1972, approximately 6:48 a.m. We're gonna get to my chart, and you know, Virgo is at the ascendant. And so since Virgo is my first house, my ninth house is Taurus. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. And Venus is found in the zodiac sign Leo in my chart. And so we're gonna build on that for you. And I'm gonna use my chart as an example, so how you can do it with your chart. I can kind of do this in my head. I'm going to use software for you so that way you could see really quickly what I'm doing. All right, so we talked about abundance. Let's go to my chart. All right, this is my chart. I'll bring it up for you. I'm using the Solar Fire 7 program, by the way. So that's my chart. So like I told you, there are 12 divisions here. Each line represents a new house. I use what's called the Cosmo house system. Cosmo house system is a blend of the equal house, whole house system. And it works best with the mathematics that I utilize behind the scene in my astrology. And that's what I utilize. And so I'll show you the interpretation of it, okay? All right, so let's go forward. You can see that my chart says the first line starts at 28 degrees of Virgo. So 28 degrees of each sign in succession is going to start the next house or life matter in my particular chart, okay? You can see that I have on my ninth house cusp, we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 falls in the sign called Taurus, and that's the sign with the bull. You see it right there. And the ruler of that is Venus. Venus is found in Leo in my chart, okay, right here in Leo at 1635. So how I interpret that? I interpret that I have Leo, I have Venus at 16 degrees of Leo, and that is in my 11th house, 12th sign. 11th house by degree, because each house starts at 28 degrees of the next sign. So it's at 11. It's my 11th house. My 11th house started at 28 degrees of Cancer. It ends at like what? 27 degrees of Leo. So it's in my 11th house, but it's still in my 12th sign. And so I'm going to add the 11th house energy as which takes precedence, but I'm going to blend it with 12th house energy too to get a broader, clear view of that interpretation. Okay, cool. Now, I'm not a classical astrologer, traditional astrologer. You can't put me into any of those boxes. So my interpretation, like I told you, is Jeet Kune Do. And cosmic physics is the Jeet Kune Do astrology. So I'm going to blend certain Vedic ideology with tropical and Western ideology that I believe that works. And I've shown it proof. I don't believe, I know it works. And I've shown it through my work, on my personal chart, family chart, charts for clients, and publicly. Because I do live readings publicly on Blog Talk Radio, Facebook Lives, all of that. And, plenty of people can attest to the skill that I have, that other cosmophysicians have. We are great astrologers trained by an astrological genius, bro. Cool. Okay? So, now, you see that Venus here. So I'm going to show you how to advance this chart to my abundance, chart. My abundance chart, let's just do some hours. We'll do 2-hour increments. Let's go to the next day. And so we want to go to the time where my 16 degrees and 35 minutes of Leo is at the ascendant. Okay, the ascendant is a focal point in all charts. It's where things start. Okay, and because it's where things start. It's the opening act. Okay, and so therefore, I'm going to advance my ruler of my ninth place of prosperity, abundance, gains, mental expansion, spiritual experience, luck and fortune to the ascendant, the focal point. So because like I start to begin, the ascendant is the focal point to actualize, to realize my abundance, my joy. Okay, being the ninth is the fifth of the fifth, so it's the place of great joy as well. So I'm going to do that. One moment. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. 4 minutes. Okay, 16:44. Some seconds here. Bring it to 16:35. There we go. So about 58 a.m. the next day on September 24th, the degree where my original natal Venus was rises to the ascendant point, the focal point. Okay, and so on September 24th at that time, that represents my abundance chart. And so how can I utilize this? Well, looking at this helps me visualize, realize, and actualize the who, what, when, where, why, and how pertain to my abundance, to my prosperity, to my luck, to my opportunities, my gains, all right? My ability to expand my mind and my spirit, all right? In this chart, Leo's at the ascendant. Venus is in that house, you know, at 17 degrees now. And Venus being a planet there has a trine, 120-degree angle or so forth to the moon in Chiron and Aries, which is now the ninth place of this chart. And by sign, it also trines Neptune and Jupiter in Sagittarius. And so I'm going to use that placement, those placements, to kind of build a blueprint to my abundance and my charity and my spiritual wealth. You know what I'm saying? And experiences and opportunities. All right. And like I said, when I talk about wealth, I'm not necessarily talking about money. It can be money, but it's not just about money, because the ninth place represents wealth in the sense that wealth you get from your experiences from traveling, from dealing with other people, other races, other cultures. When you travel long distance and you interact with different cultures and people, you gain a wealth of experience. And that's what we're talking about. Okay. So we see next day is this is my abundance chart. Leo is right there. So what that tells me is that when I surround myself, because the first house is your personal environment, your immediate environment. So when I surround myself with things that relax me, Leo, things that are fun, Leo, like video games and comic books, Leo, my children, which are upstairs right now, or I go to places that are Leo places like the beach, the amusement park, or the playground, or you know, I go to on a date to the theater. All these things serve as instruments to construct an environment that's conducive for opportunities to come to me, for me to gain, and to live in my abundance and to prosper. Okay. Now, so I will look at this chart and say, oh, Venus is there also. So I will add to that people who are Libras and Taurus, my spouse, my best friends, my business partners, all Venus. Okay. Also add flavor and add to me being, you know, my abundance and my prosperity. Venus is also your charm. So whenever I'm out being charming or I'm in a social atmosphere where my social skills can shine, also is conducive to my abundance and my prosperity as well. Venus is also balance and harmony. And so whenever, and relating. So whenever I sit down and listen to people and I relate to what's going on with them, I gain. It lifts me up. Okay. So, And it's a trine to the moon in Aries in the 9th place. So traveling with my family, or doing business with my family, or women, or helping produce or promote my family or other women also is conducive to my prosperity as well. And studying different philosophies and religions, and having compassion, forgiveness, and understanding, because that's Neptune, Jupiter, Sag, trying that particular. These are all the different avenues, tools, environments, people, places, and things that pretty much allow me to tap into the unlimited, the power of the higher mind, the divine self, and my spiritual wealth and prosperity. Okay. So now I can do the whole chart. Actually, the 2nd place of this chart shows me how to invest in those things. The 3rd place in this chart tells me the things to learn and how to educate, and how I can transfer that information and teach others. Okay, before, and so forth, all around. Okay, but for a beginner, you just focus on the ascendant. Putting that to the ascendant and making that a focal point. So that will give you the who, what, when, where, and why about your own abundance, your own prosperity. Okay, so that's just one way of doing that. And for the advanced astrologer, you can progress this chart to particular days, your birthday, or the next time your wedding day, or you could put, or the day you want to pick for your wedding, or let's say if you want to have a business meeting, or day you have a concert, a lecture, or your creative product is going to get other, you can progress that chart to this chart to that day and figure out, what it's going to look like, if that's a good, look for you that day. So that's one way. I mean, that's another way of doing it. Now, also notice that, again, 1635 is my Venus degree. That degree, first of all, touches the ascendant, the descendant, the emocoli, the midheaven, the 4 cardinal points, which are very powerful for manifesting actions every day. And so you can schedule business meetings, job interviews, opportunities. If you want to go out and impress somebody, or you can schedule that time, those events around those times, so that way you get a stronger, more powerful opportunity to immerse yourself in those energies. And therefore, it makes it easier to be successful. It brings success, get more clarity for that and focus for that success. Okay. So just want to kind of like put that out there now, just to show you something else. So we know 1635 is my natal Venus degree, right? Okay. Now, just going to go to the transit chart right now, which is 29 degrees of Scorpio. Well, let's say for instance today, I'm supposed to meet up with, I do comic books. Well, let me back up. So that chart, that Leo chart that I showed you, I'm gonna go right here. Since we're saying, I actually posted it. And so you see, the transit chart for the first time my Venus degree rolled to the ascendant after my birth, which I'm calling the Fortune Blueprint. It's approximately 20 hours, 27 minutes, and 16 seconds after I was born. Fortune Blueprint 1 is, shows the day after I was born, September 23rd, 1972, when the first time that degree came to the ascendant after I was born. That is my fortune chart. Just like the first time just like the moment you were born and you breathe, that picture of the sky is your stars, and that is your natal promise. That is the spiritual divine contract you made with the Creator to come down here and fulfill. That's why it's called natal promise, and it gives you a blueprint of the journey you will take while you're in the physical realm, and the weather of that journey. And if you're more conscious of it, you can be better prepared for the weather, good or bad. Okay, so in my this chart right here is showing my abundance blueprint. And so like I said, I know that being around my children, but Leo's also creativity. Okay, Leo's also your talents and ability. And since I have Leo naturally in the 12th as my natural 12th sign, that deals with inspiration, vision, artistic endeavors, poetry, and things of that nature. And since Leo is entertainment, fun, and children playing, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff, it's only right that I utilize my talent and my skill to do comic books, to entertain children and teach them as well. Just to show you something, this is my comic book Starfall, which I wrote. See, I'm a part of Aquarius Entertainment. Yeah. And you see that, excuse me, I have really bad allergies right now. Pardon me. You see that in Starfall on the cover, you see Empress Tai, it's the name of the character. She has her spirit bow out. And, you know, you see Glyph X, which is a literary character by Seth Farrow of Cozy Publishing. Check him out. And then you see the Zetepi Aeon, Anuko Aset, and they're in the middle of a battle here. What's crazy about this is that when I thought of the idea, the sun was in Aquarius, and it was 29 degrees Scorpio going to 0 degrees Sag, and so I put that on that's the cover. So you're going to see a Sag rising cover. I'm going to open it up, and the first scene you're going to see is a Capricorn scene. The next scene after that is going to be an Aquarius scene. All around 12 chapters to create this comic book. So I also utilize my techniques of conceptual astrology to create. And you can do that too with music, poetry, art, photography, even building the house. So, you know, that's another video. But I was just giving you an idea, you know, that's how I knew I was going to use comic books and entertain children to increase my awareness of my abundance and to increase my ability to manifest my prosperity and my fortune. Okay, and you know, this is why it's so important to me also. As you see, Venus is there, which means Venus is eating money and providing, right? And Leo's children, so I make sure my children eat. I make sure that they eat healthy. I make sure I provide for them. I make sure they have all the things they need to entertain them and to allow them to immerse themselves in their imagination, because this also brings me my prosperity. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just a brief. I don't want to go too deep into it because it'd be a longer video, but let's give me a brief understanding of that. So now back to what I was saying today. So 1635, Leo is my Venus degree, right? All right, let's check it out. So that's just gonna do an hour. We go back. So say for instance today, I had a business meeting. When should I schedule that business meeting? Well, I would like to schedule it around my abundance degree being at one of those cardinal angles, because the cardinal angles manifest. It makes stuff happen, right? They bring things into manifestation. And I can't schedule the meeting early in the morning when that degree is there. Before I move on, I use orbs. And so orbs are like field of radiance, a field of area around, you know, the focal point. So I use 3-degree orbs. So 1635 would be 13, 35, 14, well, which is the whole numbers, 13, 14, 15 degrees, okay, before, that's 3 degrees before 16 degrees, and then 17, 18, 19 degrees, which so from 13 degrees to 19 degrees of Leo is my abundance time, okay? And if that degree is at any of the angles, I can utilize that to increase my success or to increase my immersion or experience with my prosperity, my gain, my luck, all that kind of stuff. Now, when I'm telling you, man, you never know Leo speculation and gambling. I also use it at the casinos. I'll be winning. And a lotto, I'll be winning. I just haven't won big yet, so I haven't perfected the formula, but I'm winning. But outside of that, which is another video, right? So outside of that, but today at 6:21 a.m. is when that was around. So, you know, around from 6:16 to 19 degrees to 6:44 would have been the time. And who's meeting me 6:19? Nobody. So what would be the next chance of me being able to do that? Well, when it's at the next angle, which would be the midheaven, right? So you know, 4 hours, you know, forward today, and let's go those minutes. Just go bring it back. So then we say starting at 13 degrees. So start at 144 through, let's say, approximately 2:16 p.m. If I was going to have, if I wanted to make sure that I had successful business meeting, or successful project, or a successful introduction, or a successful or successfully taking advantage of an opportunity that presented to me before, I know the best time to go out and do such things, or to be in the environment that hosts that energy and all that kind of good stuff. Like I told you, the beach, the playground, the theater, whatever, or just outside in the sun, right? Because that's, you know, all that's Leo, would be between that time when you see that it's at the midheaven or the 10th house cusp, right? Another time would be, maybe I schedule it later that day when it comes to the descendant, and you know, it comes to descendant, and it's you know, between 8:01, 8:04 p.m. and 19 degrees. Go back 19 degrees real quick. 8:24 p.m. You know, and you can get more specific. Like, so if the descendant, that would be something I would plan more for my partner, my best friends, my spouses, dealing with seventh house issue, or if I'm going to be in the public doing a public lecture, speaking, or a place where I need to smooth over people, network, and things of that sort, and gain through networking, gain through my social wiles and things of that nature, or I want to impress my girlfriend or my best friend, you know. So I say, hey, babe, meet me at the movies, Leo, the theater, right? Well, movies is really, you know, really 12 hours, really. But I'm just saying, meet me at the theater, Leo, where we're going to be entertained and relaxed around 8:30 today. So I'm going to make sure I pick an 8:30 movie. Then me and her, we will really vibe. And uh, like I told you, the Leo is also romance. It's also, you know, so maybe I hook her up and say, hey, come to the house and give her a romantic dinner, or that's the time we get to, you know, get busy. Because after that, I'm really inspired to write and create, because Leo is creative. And Leo is your abilities and your strength and your creativity. And I get inspired, because Leo is my natural 12th house, to be creative when I'm in an environment with people I love, my best friends, my partner, or I'm implementing, or I'm socializing and things of that sort. You know, I'm a Libra anyway, and Venus is there. So I'm just giving you small examples. You know what I'm saying? So you can even do it where so say it's about money, right? But when does this actually? When is Leo actually on the second house cusp? Okay, so we'll do it like this. Go back to the morning, and I noticed that Leo is on the second house cusp around 4 o'clock in the morning. So what if I'm dealing with someone in a foreign country and it's 4 o'clock to me in the morning here, and I'm doing a business transaction? That would be beneficial to me with my abundance degree on the second house cusp, as you see around here. You know, let's do the second house cusp, my abundance degree. Yeah, it's 1635. So that would be about, give me a moment here. So that'll be about 35. Right there. So about 3:57 a.m., you know, check it out. 3:57 a.m. around this time of month, that's funny because I've been doing a lot of day trading with astrology. That's the time I do it. I do it when my abundance degree is on the second house cusp of money. I'm day trading, making dough, making that guap. I mean, I did pretty good this month too. And I haven't been fully trained in it. I'm getting training. My man Upgrade was going to give me serious training in it. I'm going to get better. So I'm just giving you ways you can use this. Now, mind you, there is also a time and place. All right, I'll give you another example. We'll go days. Now you have in astrology, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, prosperity, luck. It's the greater benefic, the greater fortune. Venus is about money, partnership. It's the lesser fortune. So every year the sun will go to my Venus degree. So my Venus degree is 1635. So the sun touches my Venus degree on every year. That's around the same 2 days, depending on what if February has an extra day and the wobble of the earth, you know, all that kind of stuff kind of matters. But I'll just give you an example here. Let's give you an example here. We're going to put the sun on 16 degrees. The hours. Give it near 35, 1635, okay? So that's 1634, but every year around August 9th, August 10th, the sun conjuncts my Venus degree. That's my Venus day. So that's a day I can plan things around as well. I can schedule things around to benefit from it. Okay, let's go a couple of months. Let's go to I think it's December. Yeah, go to December. Let's go December. Let's go days. Now my Jupiter degree is 29 degrees of Jupiter, right? So every year around December the 21st or December 20th, depending what year, that's my Jupiter day. And remember I told you orbs, so that's 3 days before, which is the 18th, 19th, and 20th, and then 3 days afterwards, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. These are my Jupiter week. Same thing with your Venus. And so these are also days and weeks that you could prosper or schedule things that you want to manifest, to experience your prosperity, to manifest your gains. All right. So I showed you how you can do it daily, and you can do it big by a week, every year. All right. And that's not even including your Jupiter return, which happens every 12 years, or your Venus return. Okay. That's not even including those. So that gives you a plethora of ways to schedule opportunities, ways to create or place yourself in an environment that creates the energy of your wealth, your prosperity, and your abundance. Now, that was just to show you that way, those ways. Now, there's something called a chain of dispositorship in astrology, and it follows a planetary chain. So, pardon me. So, in my case, pardon me. In my case, the ruler of my ninth is Venus, and it's found in Leo. So then we will go, what rules? So I'm gonna go back to my little chart there, right? So, you know, it's Venus, and it's in Leo. But what rules Leo? Well, the sun in Libra. Well, what rules the sun? Well, Venus in Leo. And see, they'll go back and forth between them two houses and those two spots. And that is my chain of dispositorship for my blueprint of my prosperity. You can write it down. Mine's a little sloppy right now, but you can see I did Venus in Leo, and I get the arrow down, that chain, that arrow, and that goes to the sun in Libra, and then that chain, that arrow goes back to Venus in Leo, and it's between the 11th and first house, 12th sign, second sign. And so I would build keyword lists of all those things. I would build a keyword list that involves Leo. Since Leo is the place it's in, our keywords for Leo places and Leo themes and ideals. And since Venus is there, Venetian people, like my partners, my girlfriend, things of that nature. And then, since in the first house, things that are personal to me, things that I can take action on, I can put my hands on, So all of these things, I'll build a keyword list. And then it would start me visualizing and realizing, and then to actualize. Okay, so if I go, if I ask my girl, like, hey babe, let's do a romantic novel together, that's going to be prosperous for me, and her too, because Venus is my partner. This also involves my partner. You understand? And things of that nature starts giving me ideas to work on, to bring about putting myself in this, maneuvering myself in the correct place to receive all that abundance, to receive those blessings. Because my personal keyword from the ninth place is blessings. That's not something you're going to find in any Western a book publication, or I'm not sure of it online, but I use it for blessings for the ninth place. And so to bring about my blessings, you know what I mean? And because my blessings are connected to Venus, when I'm blessed, my partner's blessed. And my partner, those who associate with me are blessed. And so I'll be, and mine's are sloppy right now. And I really don't do like I'm just doing it fast for this, but that's to give you what I'm talking about. So the ninth place is abundance. It is prosperity. It is expansion, gains. It is opportunity, luck, and fortune. Your higher education, long distance travel. Okay, that's what it is. Mine is in Taurus. My ninth house is Taurus, and it's ruled by Venus. You dig? And Venus is in Leo, and my 11th house, 12 signs. So that's how I build my keyword list, my chain of spot, my blueprint. Okay, to my success, my prosperity, and everything. That's an easier way for people to do the chain of sponsorship. Is real easy. So let's say, for instance, hypothetically, Capricorn is your ninth place. Okay, and so if Capricorn is your ninth place, and Taurus is at the ascendant, really. So then you have Saturn in your chart is the significator, the significator of your of your prosperity and your abundance. And I can already tell you that means you got to work hard, because Saturn is the significant there. And where Saturn is, to tell you what type of work you should be doing, working hard at, to bring about that prosperity and so forth and so forth, and what environments are conducive to it. And planets there talk about other people and other tools you can utilize to bring that about. So that's how I do things. As far as my wealth and my prosperity and my gains, these are different astrological ways to view this, and these views help you actually visualize, realize, and actualize that prosperity, that those routes to prosperities, those avenues to prosperities, those environments that bring prosperity, the people that will help bring you prosperity, and bring that energy around you, and bring that energy out of you, as above, so below, bringing the cosmos to the physical, and bringing what is inside out. Okay, so that's one way that you can look at it. For me, because of my prosperity, that got me into going back to doing something I loved as a child, which was comic books. And I started to create the comic books and write the comic books. You can see that in this chart that Venus trines 120 degrees, or trine, or has an easy flow or easy access to the planet, the moon. The planet of the moon in Aries and Chiron there. So my daughter, who's a Japanese animated artist, shout out to Visaru Gumi. Visaru Gumi, I think is her let me just want to shout out my daughter. Visaru Gumi is her artistic name. She's an artist, and this is her art right here I'm showing you. And she's an anime cartoonist, and I'm into superheroes and science fiction and fantasy. But I adjusted I expanded. See, I expanded my mind to start doing anime so I can do a father-daughter joint together, which I know is going to be prosperous between us because look at that configuration. And already expanded my mind like, wow, to a new market. I didn't know anime was big like this. I didn't know it was dope like this, you know? So, you know, that's just giving you ways that I started to use my chart, you know what I'm saying, to help me bring me into that sort of prosperity and things, you know, as far as that's concerned, you know, dealing with, you know, my own prosperity and my own personal wealth and expansion, blah, blah, blah. Dealing with my daughter. I was like, all right, that's that moon trine, dealing with my daughter, you know. So I'm just giving you different ways, different avenues. I even use astrology to create. I came up with something called conceptual astrology, which takes the Jungian archetypes and the derivative housing system, and I utilize that to create creative projects that synchronize my inner artistic and creative ability with the cosmos, with the natural sky, the seasons. And so there's synchronicity between me and nature when I'm creating, which is stronger, more prevalent, more detailed, more colorful than just doing it unconsciously in the natural time. So I don't care if you're already successful. You can utilize this to be more successful, to bring out things in you that you haven't even tapped into yet. I'll give you an example, and I gave an example, and I'll give another example of some of the techniques I use to create. Like I'll give you right now. Boom. Right now, boom, the transit 4 degrees of Sagittarius on the center, right? So if I want to create a story right now, the sun, which represents the hero of the story, is in Leo. So, and Mars and Venus is in there. So I'm going to create a story right now that's about a romance, about an individual. I'm a guy, so I'm going to use fire as masculine to be a man. And he's going to fight Mars for his partner or his best friend, okay, or his spouse, which is Venus. And how am I going to tell that story? Well, the ascendant tells me how to open up. The ascendant is the opening act. The ascendant is the first chapter. The ascendant is when the curtains are open. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the stage or the first act. And so Sagittarius is there. So the first thing you're going to see is and Jupiter's there. Dude, you're going to see somebody running. A big chase scene, you know what I'm saying? And since, you know, and that big chase scene is going to be inducted, since you know, Jupiter's already in Sag, a co-ruler of Sagittarius is Neptune, and that's in Pisces, it's going to be a chase scene at night. Somebody's chasing it, and then somebody's going to grab the girlfriend and take her somewhere far off. And then we're going to switch the scene to Capricorn, Saturn, and Pluto. Saturn is the bad guy, right? Switch the scene to the bad guy talking. Yeah, we got the chick. And now he can give us the ransom money he owes us, or we gonna get this from him. We gonna get that special, that information in his head, or that artifact, or whatever you come up with. And then you got Aquarius third scene, and Pisces. And I'm gonna work this transit chart. It's gonna become a project, and I'm gonna bring it to fruition. I'm gonna write it out and bring it to life. And I could do that. I don't have to write a story. I could be painting. I'm painting right now. Jupiter and Sag are in the first house, and the painting is going to be about the sun and Leo. It's going to be expressing heroism and playfulness or whatever. I'm going to show a bunch of kids, Leo, running and playing catch one, catch all on a big, open, wide field. Sagittarius. You dig? Or I'm going to paint a whole bunch of kids riding horses or ponies in the grassland. And this is going to, and I'm going to paint this chart basically and bring it to life. Or I'm going to create a song, and Sagittarius at the ascendant. The song is going to be about love affairs because the sun is in Leo, and you know Mars and Venus are there. So I'm going to talk about actually pursuing my lover and you know getting at her. You know what I'm saying? Wooing her. And I'm gonna start the song out, boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, ba, a real bombastic beat, you know, like a reggae beat, you know what I'm saying, something like that. And you know, I'm gonna talk about, hey, I see this chick, I want to get with her, I want to get with it. Yeah, I can't rap, but you know, if I was gonna rap, you know, it's gonna be about rapping. I see this chick, I approach her, I'm, you know, trying to charm her, so forth and so forth, and I'm gonna build that rap song after the transit. So I'm just giving you a well, you can do it off your own chart, because then you'll be creating projects based upon you, the inner you. And so, man, it gets deep. And I'm writing something called Conceptual Astrology, the astrology of creative visualization, that puts all these techniques in one book for you to visualize. And so I did this video so that you can help yourself to be more aware of your abundance, so you can take advantage of it and you can prosper more from it. And you know, I wanted to give you something that you can walk away from the moment you turn this video off, which I promise all my clients and my students, the moment they walk away from it, they can utilize what I taught them. And very few people can advertise that and promote that and it be real. You know, so I'm not a charlatan. You can utilize it. I just showed you how, and it's free. I'm not charging you for this. I mean, in this time and place with all these charlatans and, you know, so much disappointment in the philosophies and the religions and the morality, the moral character of our leaders and the people we look up to, man, I'm not charging y'all for this. This is yours for your prosperity, for your abundance, to utilize it the best way you can. If you need help, contact me. I'll help you. It's not a problem. I'm not, you know, I'm a person who like help. If you are an astrologer, any type of metaphysical reader, or a life coach, and you're not helping people, what are you doing? You need to be helping people, not taking their money and selling disappointment in the end, but allowing them to grow, and so we can all better connect on a higher level. All right, so I think I'm going to end the video there. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I did a good job. Like I said, I don't do videos that often and or a lot, so I'm not very savvy at how to put them together and all that kind of stuff yet. But I thank you for listening. I just want to put this out because a lot of people asked about it. And I know this is not everybody's astrological technique or teaching, and I'm not trying to disprove or prove anything. I want you to experiment with it and give me feedback on what you come up with and how it affects you. That is the most effective way of doing this type of astrology. We want to show and prove. You just don't want to read a book, because knowing is half the battle. The other half is application. Remember G.I. Joe? Knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. So we want to actually apply. We actually want to be field scientists and field engineers and go out and apply the astrological knowledge that we learn either from the books, from videos, or if someone's teaching you. You can apply it. If you can apply it, if it's not working, me personally, I throw it away. And that has attracted me to cosmophysics and their brand of astrology versus all the different other ideologies of classical, modern, Vedic, sidereal. Cosmophysics is the jazz of astrology. Peace. 361.